Alright, we got an 05 ZX-12R. Going to be installing a new front sprocket today. Pretty simple job. You'll notice this particular bike is very clean too, right? Great. Anyway, just going to remove the front sprocket cover, first of all. You may have to move the fairing out of the way for that. I have mine loose right now just so I can get in there. Next, what I've done here is got this nut ready to come off. It's got a locking washer. You can see right there I've straightened it out right here. It's usually bent over one flat section of the hex of the nut just to keep it from backing off when it's in use. You just flatten it out and then the nut can spin off freely. I like to do all this before I put the bike up on the rear stand just because it's a little more stable that way. Next is the part that a lot of people have a little bit of trouble with. It's getting the nut loosened off. If you have an impact wrench or anything like that, it's no problem at all, but to get it off by hand sometimes can be a bit tricky. A lot of people just use a ratchet with a pipe on it or something like that. I've got a 3/4 inch ratchet here, so it's no big deal. What I do is put it on there and sit on the bike and hold the front and rear brake together before it's on the rear stand, of course. And just reach down my left hand and give the ratchet a good pull, and it usually breaks it free, no problem. Once you break it free, it should just spin off by hand. See, it's not very bad at all. Now I raise it up on the rear stand and pop the axle out so the chain loosen off, got lots of slack there, and then it's pretty much ready to come off. Once you have the nut off, you might have to give the sprocket a little tap with a rubber hammer or anything just to loosen it up. It might be frozen on there, but as you can see, this one's fine. It'll come off by hand, no problem. Not a lot of wear on the old sprocket. The chain sprocket on this bike isn't very old, actually. Teeth are still in pretty good shape. Just changing it out, going to a different tooth count, going down to a 17 from a stock 18. While you have the sprocket off, it's not a bad time to look at your countershaft sprocket seal and make sure you don't have any oil leaks there. As dirty as this one is, it's not leaking anyway, one good thing. And that's pretty much it. I went ahead and totally removed the chain off the rear sprocket just to make life a little bit easier, but it's not too big of a deal. Now, putting it back together, just basically reverse order everything. Make sure you reinstall your lock washer or whatever means of locking the sprocket nut your bike uses, and torque it to the proper spec. I believe this one is 94 foot-pounds, but your bike may vary. Always check your manual and all that. I guess now would be a good time to clean up that chain and sprocket a little bit while I'm at it. And it's just a matter of installing my speedo healer to compensate for the change in sprocket. Then I just gotta wait for that awful stuff to melt.